thank you so much for being here. Earlier we were talking to another filmmaker about, about Austin and about how important music is and just the whole culture of music and everything. So tell me a little bit about your film and about Austin itself.
Well, our film, of course, is called Honky Tonk Heaven, and we, of course, our film is specifically about the Broken Spoke, and which is a legendary music place in Austin. We just felt that with Austin growing, the urbanization of Austin, that we needed to capture this special place. And so we took 3 years to do it with James and Annetta just letting us come in, bring our cameras, go in the kitchen, go on stage with all the musicians. But it's been a special time for us to be able to do it.
And after watching the film, I mean, how much has the Broken Spoke changed? I mean, it hasn't really physically changed, but the people who have come and gone. Just talk a little bit about the history and the things that you've seen.
Well, it was my dream, my vision, or whatever it is, but I literally came underneath the big old oak tree out there on South Lamar, and I visualized a place like no other, and when I got it built, I named it the Broken Spoke. And this was, back in those days, we were in the county, the city was all around us. And now Austin had just quadrupled, and all of a sudden now we got apartments all around us. And it's just all together, everything's different in Austin now. We got a lot of high-tech people. When I opened up in '64, I mean, there wasn't even a McDonald's hamburger place in Austin, Texas. But anyway, it's just, that's what happened now. We didn't know what high-tech was back in them days, But we got a lot of high-tech people there and a lot of newcomers. But we get people from all over the world. I'm very blessed that at first it was like a neighborhood bar. I knew everybody that came in there. And now the word spread through Texas, through the United States, and now we get people. We're on the tour guide over in Europe, When you go to Austin, Texas, you're going to see a Longhorn, you go to the state capitol, you go to Broken Spoke, learn how to do the Texas two-step. And so we get senators and governors and presidents, and believe it or not, just the other night, I never figured we'd ever have a Supreme Court judge come to Broken Spoke, but Clarence Thomas came out there, and he wanted to learn how to dance. He was very friendly, and he had 6 U.S. Marshals with him, but he was safe out there. I mean, we got some good people that come out there, and they don't bother. And thank goodness they don't get no big knockdown, drag out fights. It's a family place where you can bring your family, and we let in all ages. But I've always stayed true to my roots. I mean, I don't claim to be anything but a Texas dance hall that does have food. We have very good food there. And my wife Annette and myself, I built it with these hands, but without my wife, I don't think I could have made it 52 years. She's a very hard-working lady. I'm very blessed and lucky that she and all my kids work there, and my grandkids have worked there. And I want them to carry on the torch of country music when I'm no longer able to do that, because I've been there since I was 25 years old. And I've got the record, and nobody could last that long in Honky Tonk, but somehow or another I did it.
So what was the musician, or what was the moment that kind of put you on the map? What would you say that moment was?
Well, we always had good business. And then it seemed like around 1990, Texas Highway, they came out and we did a 3.5-hour photo shoot of me, Alvin Crowe, a musician that plays there, plays the fiddle, has his own band, and my 1954 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, and the Broken Spoke, of course, in the background. And they voted us the best honky tonk in Texas, and we made the back cover of Texas Highway. And I think that was the big turning point. We've had a lot of other turning points after that and before that, but that was something I really remember, because it seemed like I have a load capacity of 661 people. And somebody said, well, you can't get that many people in here, and how'd you get that improved? And I said, well, I guess because I drew the diagram. Yes, I didn't hire no engineer, but it was all truthful, and they said, well, yeah, you can have that many people there. And so, but anyway, we don't get that many people every night, but it's arranged in a way where we can, get 200 or 300 people. And it looks fine, but we can get. I think last Saturday night we had over 500, and Friday we had over 400, and so that's still a very good crowd. I have some of the best bands in country music that play there. And I'm very proud that we have so many country music Hall of Famers that have played there. When I get up on the stage, I like to introduce the band, and I like to sing with the band. It's a lot of fun to get up there and sing with the band. And I didn't do that at first because I was too busy bartending. I used to work 16 hours a day and pop beer, 2 bits a bottle. And we'd sell setup for 30 cents. That was a small bottle of Coke or 7-Up and a glass of ice. But I would pop beer as fast as I could pop it, 4 for $1, But anyway, it's I don't have to work that many. I can't really work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week anymore, but thank goodness for that. But I have other people that work. I have real good help out there. We have a full kitchen staff, and it helps get parties going, because if you want a wedding party, I've got some of the band members, they can actually marry people on the stage right at the Broken Spoke, and we'll feed them, they'll dance, and then we have dance lessons. So therefore, you don't have to sit on the sidelines anymore.
Yeah.
You can get out and learn how to dance, and it's really helped our business, the dance lessons also. And plus, we get a lot of good free advertisement. Thank goodness, because I can't afford to advertise like McDonald's or some of those places, But anyway, it's a fun place, But I get up on the bandstand and I'll say, we've had people like Bob Wills here, Willie Nelson, George Strait, Dolly Parton, Ernest Tubb, Tex Ritter, Roy Cuff, the list goes on and on and on. Then I get around to telling people that we do have cold beer and good whiskey and good looking girls to dance with. So what else do you need?
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
And that was one of the things about making the film. The challenge was documenting. There's so many of those really key points in the history of the Spoke that we were challenged as filmmakers to actually, it seemed like, as you can see, every single time we met with James, it was this plethora of stories, and it became really difficult to cull through those turning points, really, of the Spoke legacy.
So what did you decide to focus on, or what did you see as the main story?
I think that we kept our focus pretty much. As Michelle was saying, there was so much. And James has a photographic memory, which is such a blessing.
It's
such a blessing
miracle.
when you're doing a documentary and the span of 52 years.
Yeah.
But we went into it. I think the thing that, for me as a filmmaker, that really fascinated me is that this family, James built the Spoke with Annetta, and they have managed to not only survive, to be open. I've seen dance halls all over Texas. Grew up in a small town where dance halls were a big thing, but a lot of them today are closed. We cover that in our film. Maybe they're open on the weekend, but the Whites have the Spoke open 6 days a week, 5 days.
5 days. We have live
days
band
and
music
nights a
5
week.
days. And
So-
kitchen's open 5 days.
So we focused on that, the hard working family business, the music, the country and western music that it survives in this place, the musicians themselves, and the patrons. That whole story.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
interesting.
what were some of the challenges? Because I know that there's a lot of development that goes on. What were talk about some of the challenges that the Spoke had during all these years?
Well, they can speak to that more than me. As filmmakers, I think it was not so much I don't know if the word is a challenge, as reality. It was, here we are. It's
Yeah.
actually what motivated me to start as one of the co-directors to actually start filming is, wow. This used to be South Lamar was, James remembers when people would ride horses down there.
Yeah.
And even, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, it was a road, but not that busy. And then now suddenly all this development started, and before we knew it, the Spoke was being surrounded by apartment buildings. And when they started to go up is when we jumped in and said, we need to start filming, documenting
Well,
this place.
it was a challenge, a very big challenge. when those apartments did go up, because it took about 3 years, and every day everything was either muddy or they had everything blocked off.
Yeah.
I didn't have no parking, and so we just kind of did what we had to do every night. We'd go out and move all their detour signs. We'd pick up all their little rubber policemen, we call them cones, and we'd move them to the side. And they didn't like it too much, but all they did was the next day they'd put them all out again, you know, when there was construction. And then they had fences. I mean, we actually moved their fences, you know. And they spent a lot of money putting those fences up, but I'm thinking, well, you know, you're not following through with your part of the deal, you know. And I got along with those people to get along with them, you know, but it could have been a lot better, you know. But anyway, we got through it, and now it's all finished, and that we can use their parking to the north of us and to the south of us. And but I kind of like the old ways better, you know. I like the bumpy old parking lot everywhere all around there, because I wrote a song, and it's just a simple song about it's a red rustic old building with a dirt parking lot, and it's a big old oak tree by the highway. It means quite a lot, and it all kind of rhymes together. And I wrote a waltz tune, but
You're gonna have to rewrite it to include concrete now.
No.
and I didn't want to give up the dirt parking lot. And it just, I think a honky tonk, if anything, ought to be paved with beer caps and not with asphalt. But you know, I've been around so long that I'm the only one probably. I've probably outlasted any other club owner as far as being over 50 years in business. And it's basically because I started when I was 25 years old. The day I got out of the Army, I started building the Broken Spoke. And so I have a deep love and I thank goodness that I do have the business, the Broken Spoke. I'm real proud of it. But it never ceases to amaze me that it's just a red rustic old building, and those people that come in there, a lot of them have got a lot of money. They could go wherever they want to, but they choose to come there because they know they're going to have a good time. And when they throw the door open, they walk in there, they know darn good and well they're not at Carnegie Hall. They're in a real honky tonk, and that's what we want them to feel like. And when you get inside there, you don't see the apartments. You don't see the hustle and bustle of Austin, Texas. Therefore, you get a little peace of mind, and you have fun. Everybody out there, they thank me when they leave, and they tell me, don't change nothing, and keep everything. It said, whatever you do, don't ever sell this place. I said, don't worry, I'm never going to sell it. And but I've been here so long that I'm probably the only person can say I booked Willie Nelson when he was clean shaven, short hair, and he wore a sports coat.
Oh my goodness.
The first time and the second time and the third time. I've been booking Willie since 1967. I used to give him $800 a night. And the last 30 years we became friends, and he appreciates what the Broken Spoke stands for and does. And all his grandkids come out there and his children, and he'll just drop in and sing for nothing. You know, that, and you can't beat a deal like that.
Well, and you know, speaking to the development issue, that was also something our co-director who couldn't be here, Sam Wainwright Douglas, and he also was the editor. And so that was something that was very mindful that I think that Brenda and Sam did a really great job on. It was, you know, the development was not something that we could avoid. It was a topic that had to be at least addressed. And I think what Brenda and Sam did in the narrative of the story is they really they leave it up to the viewers. Like you see the film and you make your own decision about what you yourself can do to help preserve places like the Spoke. So we try not to get too much into the politics of it, but you do see that in the film. So I think they did a great job of including that.
I'm real happy with it. I'm real happy with it. It turned out really great, and the crew is very good. And y'all have been very nice to us here in Dallas, and we enjoyed going to the theater last night, and we'll be back again today. You know, I think it's 5:30 today, I think. But it's very
4:30.
It's 4:30.
4:30, 5:30.
5:30. Anyway, and I've run across some of my old customers that had moved up here to Dallas that used to come to Broken Spoke. You know, because some of those people, I had little girls come in there. I remember their parents would bring them, and now their grandchildren come out there.
Wow.
And that's how long. And my wife and I, we're not only parents and grandparents. We're great grandparents.
Wow.
I was very fortunate that our daughters, they had children at a young age, and so we can say because I remember my great grandfather, like he's like 90 some odd years old, but at least I consider myself a young 77. This is my lucky year. I'm double 7. Lucky year for me.
Well, it seems like the spoke keeps you young, so.
I think it does. I really do.
So congratulations, you guys, and we look forward to watching the film and supporting the community and venues like this to keep them
Well,
alive.
you'll have to come out and do a little dancing, and like Willie said, I'm gonna come out, eat me a chicken fried steak, and drink me a cold beer, and do a little dancing.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
very
having
much.
us.